Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. Hope you guys are just having a fantabulous day that ends in Y. Hey, Gemini. So, Don was hysterical on Paranormal Portal. From what I understand, he is sleep deprived, and that may have something to do with it. Maybe. They don't know. But it doesn't surprise me. When he gets on a roll, he is not joking. Um, yeah, without a doubt. So yeah, broadcast live tonight on Truth Frequency Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live, and also on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Hope you guys are having just like I said, a great day. Um, let's see. Yay, we have sound. Good. Sometimes the magic works. Got a good beat and stick over here if it doesn't. Um, and pliers and scissors and stuff. Let's see. Let's see what. Oh, if you no matter how you are listening to me, make sure you stop into one of the chat rooms and say hello, or you can always send me an email at wildepaisley@gmail.com, and that's wildepaisley@gmail.com. If you want to see what's going on in my world and what's coming up and all that kind of stuff, you can always go check out the website. It's www.paisleywild.com. While you're checking out things online and stuff, you can also check out iLife.com. iLife is the official sponsor for Truth Frequency Radio. iLife combines the best of the non-psychoactive properties of the ayahuasca with high-quality CBD to help support the stuff that ails you. And yeah, just really good stuff. Check out iLife.com. And then let's see, call lines are open. I do have to just remember to check the call lines periodically. And that call-in number is 213-233-3998. Yeah, I do remember how to do all this. Let's see, what else is new? It snowed and then it stopped snowing. It's trying to thaw out here in the Pacific Northwest, which I'm totally stoked about because I gotta tell you, I want a garden. It is really hard for me this time of year because my friends that live in warmer climates are gardening. I have family that lives in North Carolina and they're gardening, and it's not fair. It's just not fair because they're talking about the things they're putting in the garden. I know people are getting flowers, and it's just, I look outside and I have 2.5 feet of snow. It's not fair. It's just, that's just all. It's just not fair for crying out loud. But I love living here in North Idaho, and I wouldn't change it for anything. So, even though I whine a lot, and I do, I do, and I know this about me, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Mm-mm. Nope, not anywhere else. I like it too much here. So, it's half-hearted whining. Really, it is. Um, yeah, wouldn't live anywhere else. But it is it is whining. I know this. Um, Mini me next week will have been in school for 100 days, which it's hard to believe, 100 days. There's what is 180 days is what our state recommends or requires for a full year of school. So that means for what, two-thirds? Yay. Um, it's all downhill from here. Actually, it is. Stop and think about it. Here it is, the second, almost the third week in February. 6 weeks will be pretty much the 1st of April. I mean, honestly, we're looking at the end of winter anyways and the start of mud season. Supposedly we'll get some more snow rain mix tomorrow or the next day. Yeah, okay. And same with next or like tomorrow this weekend, and then same thing with next weekend. Okay, fine. But we're pretty much done with winter, and that's okay. We've gotten our snowfall here We have. I know other parts of the West Coast has not, so I don't know. It should be an interesting spring and summer. Um, yeah. And I got to talking to Lucky One. She's been on the show a few times with me, and she has her own show on Truth Frequency Radio. Um, and Quantum Connections. Check it out. It's a good show. She talks about all sorts of stuff. She has a way of putting things together. Check it out. Anyways, we were talking, and I got to thinking back and looking. The weather that we had here in North Idaho, say 30 years ago. It's very different compared to what we have now. Very different, honestly. Um, we had more snow. Not necessarily more cold days, but we would have more snow, and it was common for us to have snow and then a Chinook type wind where everything would melt, and then we'd have more snow and then it'd melt, and it was just this on again, off again thing. And it was pretty normal. But then we also had snow. I have raced sled dog teams. I've ran behind a team of sled dogs. It's fun, very freeing. And if you've ever had the opportunity, or if you ever do have the opportunity to go for a ride with the sled dog team, I highly recommend it. It's a rush. Is it ever a rush? It's awesome. Do it. Um, but where I'm going with that is the weather that we're having now would not support that here locally. It just wouldn't. You'd need more of a cart system than a true sled or a sled. Um, and I used to race in this area, and so our climate has shifted. For anybody who has doubts, no, it has shifted. It has changed. And for those who get all grouchy and say, it's the end of the world, the climate change, panic, panic, the sky is falling. Stop, sit down, take a deep breath. Um, Climate change happens all the time. Civilizations have risen and fallen based upon water, the tables rising and falling around the world, moisture content, rain levels, rainfall. Look at some of the civilizations that were thriving, centuries ago in uh, Asia, South America, Central America, that kind of thing, that were thriving and suddenly they disappeared. And now archaeologists and geologists are going in, they're trying to figure out why those civilizations stopped, like what happened. And a lot of them is because the water stopped for some reason, whether it's droughts or excess of water. Too much water is as bad as not enough. And so this is a cyclical thing that our world goes through periodically. And so, sure, the West Coast may be in a 1,200-year drought cycle. Does that suck? Yes. Um, am I going to panic over it? No. Mostly because it means we need to do something different. We need to shift the way we are thinking and shift the way we are using water and conserving water. Doesn't mean we need to panic. We just need to think about it a little bit and do things differently. And panicking is never the answer, really, truly. Panicking makes things worse rather than better. Trust me on this one. So, that being said, digress for a few, and back to the show at hand. So tonight, I wanted to talk about protection just a little bit. Actually, the whole show is going to talk about protection. Why? Why am I talking about protection? Well, here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're talking about spring cleaning is rapidly coming up. The Southern Hemisphere, fall cleaning is the thing. Honestly, I do fall cleaning as much, if not more, than I do spring cleaning because cleaning is important, honestly. It doesn't matter when you do it, just clean. Get rid of the dirt. Um, Seriously, even shuffling around your furniture once in a while cleans up the energy and changes the energy flow in your house. And I'm not saying, you know, really rearrange the furniture, although I've done that probably too many times. I'm saying just clean. Put new dust covers on your pillows. doesn't have to be anything too wild and crazy. It can be something small and little, but yeah, clean, sweep, mop, dust. Dusting is my nemesis. Um, put new cupboard shelf liners in your cupboards. I don't know, just whatever it is. Stay safe, Jim. And cleaning, right? And with cleaning, it's a good time to start renewing your protections around your home. Just like here in the U.S., we have daylight savings time. Cue the eye roll because it makes no sense, but apparently we still have to do this. And we should probably stop someday soon. This year would be good. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But yeah, it's a good time to start renewing your protections. And with daylight savings time, it's everybody recommends. Oh, hey, it's time to check the batteries in your smoke detectors and your carbon monoxide detectors. It's just one of those things. You do it. It's like, oh, check the batteries, change them out if you need to, that kind of thing. Um, well, why not renew the protections on your house? I mean, a lot of them are pretty easy. Um, we've been doing moon water. I mean, we just had the full moon, beautiful full moon. Um, I got some fantastic pictures I need to add to something somewhere. If you have full moon pictures you want on the website, send them to me. Wildepaisley@gmail.com, and I'll put them on the website. I need to add my own too. Just saying. I need to sit and focus on the website. If anybody wants to help out with the website, let me know. You get paid in karmic love rather than money, just because that's the way of it. Sadly, I don't even pay myself very well. I'm a horrible employer. But you feel good. Anyways, moon water. Got all this moon water, and it's a very, very good tool when it comes to renewing your protections. And we'll get into that in a little bit. And part of the reason why I wanted to talk about protections is because of this blasted news that's been coming around about this Tennessean um, church leader individual. I'm not even going to call him Christian because I don't think he is. Yeah, he's just a cult leader, Christian sect leader. Yeah. Anyways, he did a book burning here a while back and he burned some books because he said they were of the devil. For those of you listening in on the radio, you cannot see how hard I just rolled my eyes. I just about knocked myself into a different dimension. Oh, I saw a different line. I almost rolled my eyes hard enough you could see my spine. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny too. But no, yeah, who goes out and buys a bunch of books just so you can throw them on a fire? I've never understood that one. It's like, oh, I'm gonna take these books. I'm gonna spend $10 or more per book so I can burn them. It's like, well, shoot, if you're just gonna literally burn money, burn it in my direction. Okay, just if you could, um, burn it towards me. Anyways, so yeah, they burned some books, which whatever, and he's on his soapbox and he's spitting hatred, um, and it is hatred. Don't allow yourself to think anything else, just hatred, pure hatred on his stage from his bully pulpit to his audience, because it's not it's not a congregation, it's an audience because it's being filmed. It is a performance for an audience, and he's threatening to expose some witches and stuff, and he's saying that, oh, they're in his congregation and such. If they are, man, folks, I'm sorry, you're in danger. Get out. This is like an abusive relationship. You are in an abusive relationship. Get out. Honestly, if you are a woman attending this church, this cult, part of this cult, I'd get out. And seriously, as a witch, I'm calling this group a cult. Cult. And because it has all the hallmark ear tags of badness. Anyways, so not trying really to be an alarmist, and I'll include some articles in the show notes just because that's what I do. Um, but there are some things to be aware of, and even though he's like one individual shouting loud on his soapbox, it is worth it as a witch and as a pagan to, while not be panicking about what he's saying and how he's saying it, but to be aware. Um, and I say be aware, not beware, be aware. And the reason why is even though it's a small group of people and they are not necessarily all over the world or, a huge group or a huge cult or congregation or whatever you want to call them. Unfortunately, even one person can cause a hate crime, and we've seen this around the world often. Hate crimes happen all over the place all the time, and sometimes it's in the name of religion, other times it's just in the name of stupidity, sometimes it's a combination. Um, but either way, it's something to pay attention to, and we do just need to pay attention to it because he is supposedly passionate about this particular topic. Um, he is, as he's burning witches or burning books. Honestly, it doesn't take much to think he would go from burning books to burning something else very, very easily. Um, just protect yourselves. So, and when I say protect yourselves, I don't mean, carry extra charms, carry weapons, or anything like that. One, just listen. You know, um, how are people in your group of influence, your sphere of influence, if you will, react to extremists such as this particular individual? I'm not going to name him because I don't want to give him that kind of power. That's how I'm doing it. Um, do they repeat his slang, his message? Do they encourage it? Do they think it's great? Do they think it's funny? Are they um, saying it's harmless? It's just, or are they um, saying that it should be ignored, or are they saying no, it's wrong? Um, how are they responding? And the ones who are saying, yeah, this guy's a good guy, those are the ones to really watch out for. Even the ones who think it's kind of funny, haha. Yeah, I'd worry about that too. Or the ones that, oh no, it's harmless behavior. He's just going through a phase. Yeah, I don't know. I'd really be worried about it. So just pay attention. Pay attention to the people you're around. Um, and the people you're interacting with because that kind of hate it spreads to other things and other places, and it's more than just hate of witches. There's something else going on. Um, if you're threatened, um, especially directly to you, someone puts threatening information on your car, on your property, in your mailbox, especially, ooh, mailbox is bad. Um, you receive harassment in any way, harassing messages in any way, shape, or form, contact your local law enforcement. And if they don't do any forward movement on that and protect you in some way, shape, or form, or take at least a report. That's that's a big deal. It really is. Um, for a lot of us, um, as witches, we do strive for inclusion, meaning we try to include those who are marginalized in the communities. Um, and that's everybody, not just, the magical folk, but also the mundane. Keep that up. If you are public about your practice, your path, and what you're doing, and you're okay being more vocal about your path and trying to help others be more accepted and allowing and pushing for witchcraft and paganism to be more accepted in the world, don't be afraid to denounce this kind of hateful speech. Do it. Um, and I think you should. I'm trying to myself. Um, it does make me a little nervous just because, wow, this guy's pretty hateful. Um, and the part of the reason why am I willing to do this is because I want to support those who prefer to be silent and protect them and shelter them, because you know what, not everybody feels comfortable standing up on their soapbox and saying, yeah, I'm a witch, what of it? And I get it. So don't be afraid to protect yourself and your family, because sometimes that is what you have to do, really truly. um, on pathos.com, John Beckett wrote a really good article, and let's see who is this other one that I'm looking at. Um, Three Pagans and a Cat. I love Three Pagans and a Cat. They're awesome. Um, but John Beckett is, I would love to meet him. I think he's awesome. Um, Man, it is a culture war right now. It's the progressive movement trying to expand some freedom. Conservatives, yeah, sort of. There's the, which is weird because I consider myself a conservative. There's the Christian conservative. There's the pandemic mess. There's this whole societal insanity going on right now, and it's not clear. It's not clear cut. It's not this group is in the right and this group is in the wrong. Um, it's not a bubble of anything to assume that any one group is right or wrong. It's sadly, excuse me, a blend of everything, and we need to pay attention to it. We can't just assume that one group is in the right and one group is in the wrong, because there's there's issues on in all ways. So pay attention. You know, forewarned is forearmed, and prepare yourselves. Check to see what's out there. And this is again, holy cow, just wasn't looking at the chat. So yeah, um, it's an interesting time that we're living in, and it's unfortunately not necessarily good interesting times. I would rather have interesting times where I won the lottery. I got to tell you. Or I had chocolate delivered every day. That would be interesting. That would be fun, interesting. This kind of interesting times, it causes more of this gray hair to start showing up. So, yeah. I'm going to stop right there because we are just about to go to our first break. We're going to do that. I'm going to pick this up with the article from John Beckett. I am going to talk about some crystals that you can carry on yourself and use for protection around your home, that kind of thing. Some spell work, not work, that kind of thing later on in the show. So, yeah, first break. Grab your water, grab a snack, sit back, enjoy the ride, and we shall be right back. I promise. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. Tonight we're talking about protection because you know what? It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it in so many ways. um, yeah, so many ways. So many ways. Um, but I was just talking about mm, in light of the news, not in any other racy kind of ways. But apparently the chat room's been off and running, and I didn't even see. Anyways, um, oh my stars, you guys. Um, so here in the recent week or recent week, recent days, um, there is a gentleman who fancies himself someone who can uh, a witchfinder general buffoon, but sadly, he does have a following, and yeah, exactly. So Justin in the chat room says to be spiritual and humanitarian does not only mean Christian. People don't get that. Absolutely. And that leads me to my next point, is keep winning the publicity battles. As witches and pagans, people assume like, ooh, just like in Hollywood, there's got to be blood sacrifices and, you know, black magic and black candles, and everybody's dressed up like goths and with the fangs and all that. That's actually not it. Um, most witches, I won't say all because no, witchcraft is very much a broad spectrum. Same with paganism, kind of a broad spectrum. Kind of like Christianity is a broad spectrum. There's really awesome people who are Christians and they're douchebags, just like this gentleman who's in the news. And sadly, it is a thing. Um, Twitchy nose, yeah, exactly. And so when when it comes to winning the publicity battles, what I mean by that is, you know, as a witch, continue, or as a pagan, or someone who is not a Bible Belt Christian, continue doing the good works. And I'm putting my fingers in air quotes for those of you who can't see. Um, and when I say do good works, I mean continue donating to the causes that you believe in. Support the soup kitchens that you support. Help out the shelters that you help out. Do what the good things that you've been doing. Continue being the same good person that you've always been. Just because someone's being a jerk from his bully pulpit, which to me is really, really sad and unfortunate because that's really what he's taking being. Um, wow, there's so many different words I could use there. None of them are appropriate for radio. Um, Jerk. We'll leave it at jerk. Yeah, he's being the fool that he is because he's on a soapbox and spouting so much hate and vitriol um, that he can't see that what he's doing is wrong. Um, and now, you guys, if you're seeing buffering, it's probably me. I do live in North Idaho. The internet here can be quite interesting. Um, let's see. So Napoleon there's a quote attributed to Napoleon that says, if your enemy is making an error, don't interrupt him. So this particular gentleman, and I use that word loosely, this individual, um, is currently making errors all over the place. Um, he's tying himself up with demons. Okay, supposedly demons are telling him who the witches are. Okay, well, if he's got that close of a relationship with demons, witches are not his problem. That lad could definitely use a cleansing. Just saying, there are quite a few different ways of getting rid of demons in your world. Book burnings generally aren't the best way. I mean, I've got ah. Now you can't hear my tincture over here, but I've got my singing bowl, the tincture, got Palo Santo, sage, sweetgrass. Yeah, got all sorts of stuff right here. Uh, yeah, jerk comes to mind. Um, if when it comes to the publicity part, Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis said that sunlight is the best disinfectant. So, as this particular individual, this jerk, continues spouting his vitriol from his soapbox, um, it's going to come out that more and more, what his faults are, what his screw ups are, because he's going to be more and more in the spotlight. Um, and sadly, regardless of what happens, Christian fundamentalism is kind of what he falls under, isn't going to go away anytime soon. It just isn't, because it appeals to a significant group of people within the US at least, but around the world. And So D goes, where do you even start with those types? Well, um, it's hard. Um, and, you know, so I, personal experience here. Um, I was in a public place and I had interaction with an individual who came in and he was talking about witches, spouting off a little bit about negatively about witches. And I go, well, I'm a witch. And he looks at me and he goes, you're a witch. I go, yes, yes, I'm a witch. And he goes, well, how do you know you're a witch? It's like, well, I've chosen to be a witch and I honor the elder gods. I'm a pagan and I practice witchcraft, spells, magic, that kind of thing. And he's like, oh, and have you, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he asked me if I had done some specific ritual that was supposedly countering all of the 10 commandments. And I'm like, well, why would I do that? He goes, well, it's because you're um, denying God. It's like, well, why would I do that? He's like, because you're a witch. It's like, it's, why would I do that? He kept looking at me like, well, why, but you're a witch. It's like, I'm a witch. That doesn't mean I don't believe in Yahweh. He's like, well, what do you mean? It's like, I am a polytheist. I believe in all the gods. I just don't worship Yahweh. And I'm a witch. And I don't worship Yahweh. And so, my views on the afterlife, for instance, I'm not going to go to the Christian hell because that's not part of my religion. I am of a different religious belief than Christianity. And because I caused this individual to stop and talk about a narrow minded, focused, linear thinking individual, very linear, oh boy, I made him stop and question himself and his beliefs. It changed the way he thought about witchcraft and witches in general. Um, and he's like, oh. And it's like, yeah, yeah, it's just, it's not evil. It's just a different way of thinking. It's a different way of believing. And and he's like, I see. And sometimes just having a straight up conversation, maybe not always, but maybe. Um, excuse me. So, John Beckett's article here, he talks on about being an engaged citizen. So basically, that means stay informed. That doesn't mean obsessed over the news and the headlines, but stay informed. You know, don't be obsessed about the politics and what's going on, but stay in contact with your elected representatives. Um, are they doing the right things? Are they not? Vote as much as you can. Um, as far as book bannings or book burnings go, um, oddly enough, don't attend those. Don't have a counter uh, group or counter meeting against it. Just like if someone's having a protest, don't have a counter protest. It doesn't do anything. Okay, time out. D says ritual cannibalism, even if it's simulated, is still a spell. Exactly. And I've said this before. Um, yeah, uh, most Christian pastors and priests and such technically are witches also because they have things like ritual cannibalism in their practices and such. Um, so. Yeah. Um, so anyways, yeah, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Um, Something else, you know, maintain a regular spiritual practice for ourselves. Um, does this mean you have to connect with a specific deity? No. And that is something that I do see a lot of the newbies, the new pagans, new witches, go on about and get very, very concerned about. It's like, oh, well, I'm not connected with a specific deity. What do I do? How do I get connected? Well, to begin with, you don't have to be. Start off with the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and start there. Should you feel called to work with a specific deity, that will happen as you become more experienced on your path. If you need a mentor, find a mentor. If not, then don't. But honor the masculine and feminine, both, because it's a duality, honestly. And that's something a lot of the different religions around the world have totally missed, is that there is a masculine and feminine to spirituality. And then um, it's reading, it's studying, it's the seasonal celebrations, it's the monthly workings. It's for pagans and witches, is going outside, it's checking out the sky, it's talking to the animals, it's picking up sticks. Sorry, it is. um, it's connecting with the land and the world around you. Sometimes that means taking a class, sometimes it doesn't. um, Sometimes it means getting together and doing a ritual with others, and sometimes it isn't. Um, you stop and think about it. What is it that you need to do? Um, and yeah, ask around, connect with your community as much as you can. The community of witches here locally. Hectic Eclectics is the group that I'm with Black Tree. We have a monthly get together where we just sit and have coffee and talk and chat and all that. We also, I have a Zoom group, same group. We get together about once a month now. I do have it set up to meet twice a month just in case, you know, because I know not everybody's schedule is the same. Because life, oh yes, life. Um, and it's so that, hey, we can still get together and meet and express ideas and what do we want to do. As we move forward, I'm hoping maybe we can do some camping this summer. I mean, there's so much we can do here in North Idaho. I mean, there is so much. We've got this lake, we've got hiking, we've got camping, we've got huckleberry picking, there's so many rocks and sticks we can go pick up. Them just so many things. And find a group, go mushroom hunting, um, go wildcrafting, go find a group to hike with. Learn more about your local area and just become more in touch with your local area. Get your feet in the dirt. If you don't garden yourself, volunteer at your community garden. Um, you pick a specific tradition. It just didn't. E- Even though I follow Hecate, not everybody does. So yeah, um, I'm more of a dualist myself, Hecate and Caninos. The what's been happening in the news, especially with this particular soapbox individual, you know, the potential for him to wreak havoc. havoc and cause problems is quite high. And he's messing with stuff that he really, really shouldn't be. So I just overwhelmed my computer. Doot, 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 doot. Hold on. When it comes to protection, not only is it the magic that we need to be aware of, though, it is also being aware of the world around us. So, when I say that, I mean um, the people. What kind of people are you spending time around? What is your environment like? Are the people you're around helping you or hindering you when it comes to that kind of energy? Are they helping you? Or are they hindering you? And it's just being situational awareness. Honestly, is a really big deal when it comes to just being aware or just protecting yourself. Honestly, um, yeah, be aware, protect yourself. Da, da, da. Make sure I've got this done. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, as I crash my computer, I had an update today that did not help anything at all. Mm-mm. Nope. No updates. Updates are bad. They really are. Especially in the middle of a show. Hmm. Good times. Trying to close out stuff so it's not in the way. Um, when I'm trying not to start the next article because for crying out loud, it's just about top of the hour. Can you believe it? It's been a fast hour. Um, where am I at for time? Time. Hmm. Maybe I should do singing bowl now, and then when we come back, I will do actual spell work and such. That sounds like a thing. I like this thing. This would be a good thing. Do, do, do. Boop. So I try not to fall over on my chair. I'm going to need another mallet before too long. I'm going to wear through the leather. Not that that's a bad problem. That's a good problem to have. Yes, it is. So we're, like I said, rapidly approaching the bottom half of the show, the top of the hour, that kind of thing. Afterwards, I'll be talking about some crystals, or after the break, I'll talk about crystals and rocks for protection, some different basic spells, some different ideas for protection for your home, your car, that kind of thing. So if you wanted to take notes, now would be a good time to go get your pen, your paper, that kind of thing. Or for those of you on YouTube, you can always hit record, or excuse me, download if that's your gig. Or if you do have a TFR subscription, you can also uh, download this particular episode. Trying to think, is there anything else? No, I think that's it. Just do remember the call line is open. It's 213-233-3998. Also, during the break, now is a good time to check out iLife.com. And iLife is the official sponsor for Truth Frequency Radio. Trying to think. That's basically it. If you have any questions, by all means, send me an email at wildepaisley@gmail.com. And that's WILDEPAISLEY @gmail.com. You should do it. Check it out. Check out the website. Let's see. June, we will be having a Renaissance Festival here in Sandpoint in North Idaho. It's a 2-day festival. I am hoping to have a booth. At least that's the plan. I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Yes, I am. All right, so off to break. And when we come back, we'll talk about spells for protection for the home and for yourself and your car and stuff. See you in a few. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. For those of you who are on YouTube, um, I had an update, middle of the break or middle of the last segment, and so we had to restart. And there's a new segment, and I'm sorry, that's just kind of the way it is. I'll try to link them together post show, so they won't be combined, but they will be linked. Gotta love the technology when there's a software update midstream. Yes, it's awesome. All right, so starting off, I wanted to talk about some of the stones that are best to carry or to use for protection. Now, these you could use in your car, around your home, on your person. You can wear them as jewelry. You can put them in your pocket. You can keep them in your shoebox. You can put them in your jewelry box. You can put them on your bedside table, keep them in your cup holder in your car, put them on your windowsill. You know, even for those of you who are not out of the broom closet, it's when it comes to rocks and crystals, it's actually pretty easy to display rocks around your home. Say, hey, my kiddo brought this home from school. They had a rock and mineral day. Having rocks and crystals around your house is no longer the scary thing it was, or that it has been in the past. If it's a non um, porous stone, for instance, selenite is one that'll dissolve in water relatively quickly, so I wouldn't necessarily store it in your plant, in your potting soil. But a lot of stones or crystals you could put in your plants. They're actually really good for your plants. Um, just another thing, honestly. And how often do we have potted plants in almost every corner of our homes? Pretty often. Put some quartz, some tourmaline in there, and as some people say, Bob's your uncle, and everything's protected, and you've got clean air coming through your home all over the place. If you have fake plants, it doesn't really matter. Just throw your stones in there, anyways. Just every so often you'll want to take them out, give them a charge, clean them, cleanse. Some of them are you can cleanse them in water. Some you want to do them in salt. Charge them in the moonlight. Some in the sunlight, depending on what it is. If you've got the stones and the crystals, I hope you're doing the research anyways for cleansing and charging. It's good to have, just overall. Um, so, first stone, as a beginner, this is a stone I think is just a good beginner stone in general, especially just just in general. It's one you a good beginner give it away all over the place. It's one I hand out to people. It is black tourmaline, very strong, very powerful when it comes to protection, very grounding. It helps to clear and repel negative energy from the home, from the body, and from the work environment. It just helps the user feel more grounded and more peaceful. So, feeling stressed at work, keep some at work. Feeling stressed at school, keep some in your pocket. Wear some on a piece of jewelry that you can wear at school. Bracelet, keychain, whatever it is that you can wear or have on you that looks appropriate, do it. Um, you can put a piece of black tourmaline at your front door if you want to clear the energy of your home. If you're feeling threatened or unsafe from um, the outside world, you can use or create a crystal grid in your home and use tourmaline in your crystal grid. Now, I haven't actually talked too much about crystal grids, so maybe we'll do that tomorrow night. We'll see. I don't have any scratch paper, and I don't have a pen handy, so we'll see. Crystal grids, and I should just because they're actually really interesting. Um, but yeah, if you have a crystal grid, do this by setting the intention for safety and protection for your crystal grid. Often it's really easy to do. You write it on a piece of paper, you put it underneath the crystal grid. And then you put a piece of black tourmaline in each corner of your house. And then as you're laying the crystal grid down, imagine an energetic line reaching from one crystal to the next. A real basic, you can use a small piece of tourmaline, doesn't have to be very big. Um, if you want to get just really fancy about it, honestly, you can get a bigger piece of black tourmaline and you break it into smaller pieces. So they're all linked physically because they were all one piece. So it's not just a bigger piece broken into smaller pieces that you're placing around your home. But yeah, as you're laying them down and placing them around your home, imagine that energetic line reaching from one crystal to the next. And so, yeah, it creates an invisible barrier of safety made up of stones for your protection. And it's strong, and depending on the strength and the intention of the person placing the stones, you can actually feel this energetic barrier. So clear quartz is another good stone, especially for a beginner or a new person. Clear quartz is very versatile. Lots and lots of different varying uses and benefits. It's also an enhancing stone, so it'll enhance other stones. It can also be used as a replacement stone for other stones. Um, One of the easiest uses is it does dispel negative energy and at the same time attracts positive energy, um, which is pretty fantastic. I mean, it gets rid of the negative, attracts the positive. Yes, bring it on. We want more of that, right? Um, so, clear quartz is known for absorbing, balancing, and regulating negative forces and energies. Excuse me. So, if it's best used as a protection stone if it's kept close to your body. So wearing it in a necklace or on a ring is a great way to keep it on you at all times. So it is a very impressionable stone. So set your intention with it every time you put it on. Um, you've heard, maybe you haven't heard, but often people talk about programming a stone as you start to wear it or when you receive it. Um, or as you're getting ready to use it, this is one of those things. You're setting your intention prior to using it. So I'm going to use this stone as a protection stone. So you put it on, and that's what you're doing. And you can just keep it as a protective thing. You can put it next to your bed to help keep you safe while you sleep. That's why a lot of times you see in a dream catcher, quartz crystal will be in the dream catcher. Citrine is another just fantastic stone. I love the colors. It's orange. Um, but it's a manifestation stone and it can bring abundance in all forms. But it also has the ability to be a protection stone as well. Um, in the protection world, its ability to absorb negative energy and transmute it into positive energy and calmness is pretty fantastic. So it's a protection crystal that also helps to use with protecting yourself from negative people that you cannot avoid otherwise. So if you're going to a business meeting or a family function or a school function where you're going to be around people that you don't necessarily like, but you have to be there, citrine is a good thing to have. It's a very good thing to have. Wear it. It looks fantastic in many different outfits, especially if you're into fall colors at all. If you struggle with bad dreams or interrupted sleep, then you might want to put a piece of citrine under your pillow. You can wear citrine on your neck in a necklace or as a pair of earrings because it'll help keep your thoughts clear of negativity and help abundance flow into your life. Amethyst is very closely related to citrine. Actually, they're very, very closely related. Ametrine is a stone that is half amethyst and half citrine. I have one. I love my ametrine. Um, Amethyst is a purple stone and it is a very, very rich healing stone. Love amethyst. So, amethyst uses range from assisting in healing addictions, helping to heal grief, and also to help protect from negative energies. So, amethyst is good to use when you've been around lots of people. And not all of us have had that very much in recent times. But if you have to be in places with big crowds, might leave you drained and overwhelmed, using a little bit of amethyst can really, really help you a lot. So if you're, yep, crowded or public places, amethyst necklace, amethyst bracelet, earrings, rings are just pretty fantastic. They look great. Um, you can also put it in your pillow or under your pillow to help protect you from nightmares and psychic interference while you sleep. Also, another one of those things, it might be in a dream catcher. Putting amethyst around your house to uphold the vibration of your home is also a great way to harness the power of the protection stones. So a lot of these stones you might see in a protection grid around your home, whether in a crystal grid that I started talking about, that you might have representing your home in your safe space, in your on your altar or your crafting room or your whatever space that you have your stones and your crystals, or setting up in the zone defense around your house. Um, Pyrite, another fabulous stone. So pyrite is also known as fool's gold because it often has a golden hue. Now, doesn't always. Sometimes it's got more of a silver hue, but it might have a golden one. It's a very, very powerful detoxifier. So if you find yourself needing protection from spending too much time with technology, I mean, we all spend a lot of time with technology. Yeah, it'll help detoxify you from the technology because it does throw off some energy. Pyrite is also known to assist with manifesting financial abundance and bringing safety and protection to its user. It can also help you to release negative thoughts and energy. So, pyrite has a really strong energetic reach. So, it's one of those really ideal stones to have for your protection. And you can put it pretty much anywhere in your home or on your body and still reap its benefits. It's beautiful and it makes kind of unusual looking jewelry. Um, so you can wear it on your body as an option. You can also put it in a pouch and keep it in your purse or in your pocket. Um, there is a specific type of pyrite that comes from Spain that forms in a cube. I mean, it grows in a cube. It is really actually pretty pretty. It's fantastic. It's awesome. So if you want just one that's cool and unusual to have around your home, that would be very decorative. It's like, oh, look at this conversation piece. What is it? It's pyrite from Spain. It's fantastic. Nobody knows that you have a rock because it's for protection, um, because you're a witch and you believe in that stuff. They just think, ooh, it's a cool rock. So remember, if you are in the pagan pantry, the broom closet, whatever, a lot of this stuff doesn't have to be in your face about your protection. A lot of the times it's little things that can be, under the altar cloth, if you will, rather than loud and proud on your forehead. It doesn't have to be that way. Black obsidian is another fantastic rock. Um, it's obviously black. It's lava. It's a lava stone. Black obsidian is very strong and absorbent and will highlight whatever truth you're needing to see in your life. So be careful. If you don't want to see the truth in your life, don't have it. If you're ready for the truths, then pick it up. It's yours. Very powerfully protective, though, and should be cleansed often due to how much energy it is able to absorb. It can bring avoided emotions or truths to the surface and force you to deal with the things that you might have suppressed. And it can absorb negative or dark energy easily and will help keep you and your home protected. Now, obsidian, fortunately, since you do have to cleanse it often, is one that you can run underwater to clean it because it is not water soluble. Like selenite, for instance, water soluble. Don't want to run it under the water, generally speaking, but obsidian you can. So since black obsidian has the ability to draw on the negative, transmute it, and expel it back out again, having it around your home or the entryways, um, the doorways in and out of your home, best place for it. If there's a specific spot that you find has really unpleasant energy, maybe more than one piece of black obsidian is the best place to put it. Um, Black obsidian with clear quartz has a very fantastic effect because obsidian will draw the negative out and the quartz will fill it with light and positivity. Think of the yin and yang, if you will. Um, And all of the crystals will help with give you peace of mind and help you feel just calm and safe, more relaxed. And protection stones are just, they are more than just protection. They're a connection to the earth and, the power within. They're just freaking awesome. And you can wear them many different ways. Let's see. Looking here, I've got some more. So smoky quartz is another one that you could have. Let me check time real quick. Okay, just because I'm not looking at the clock. So smoky quartz will transmute negative energy. Um, it's if you have a wandering mind, for instance, due to negative energy, which we do often. We got so much that we're focusing on, especially if it's negative stuff, which if you look at any of the headlines right now, there is negative stuff everywhere. Um, Smoky quartz is a good one to have. It helps open the root chakra and the solar plexus and helps with grounding, focus, and peace of mind. It does have a dark, smoky appearance, and it gets that smoky luster from natural radiation or gemstone irradiation. And it does come in different structures and sizes. And also, it makes a really pretty faceted type stone for like jewelry and such. And it transmutes that negative energy into positive energy and can help rid you of bad habits or vibes, and by helping you with your inner strength. It can also help with manifestation and transformation to help you put your own needs first. Now, in the past, I've said you can't pour from an empty cup. This is true. It really, really is true. But how often do we keep trying to pour from an empty cup? I do. It's something I do all the flipping time. Um, I hate it, but I keep doing it. It's in my nature to try to keep pouring from an empty cup. So smoky quartz is one of those things that I need to have more of. It's another one of those stones that you can have at the front door of your house or your office. Um, and you can have it on your desk. It does give you a little bit of EMF protection, which is cool. You can wear it as jewelry. But if you do, make sure the point on it does point downwards. That way it'll channel negative energy through it and away from you towards the ground. Um, let's see. What's next on my list here is for stones, because I want to talk about stones first and then we'll talk about other stuff. So selenite, I've mentioned it a few times. Don't wash it in the water. So selenite for protecting your home is a really big deal. It's a cleansing stone in general. Selenite is one of those stones you do not need to charge or cleanse generally, because that's what it is what it does. It's naturally occurring that way. Um, if you do feel like you need to expel something off of it, a little bit of salt goes a long way. So selenite is one of those stones that's really, really good for home protection. They do create a harmonious and peaceful environment, and they can help expel stagnant or stale energy away from your vicinity, purifying and cleansing it for you and your safety. It's a very high vibrational stone, and it's a crystallized form of gypsum. Generally, it's kind of a translucent, multifaceted stone. Sometimes it's kind of flaky looking, but it does have quite a few different protective properties, so it's a very good protective shield. And like other crystals for protection, selenite repels negative energy around the home and purifies your house. And it elevates the spirit and clears blocked energy, just all of it. And it helps promote peace and clarity while also calming the atmosphere in your house. So this might be one that hang on the Christmas tree, because you can get little selenite hearts. They're super cute. Or palm stones. I don't have any of my stones handy, of course, but I did that. But yeah, I don't know, I think they're awesome. They're just really, really pretty to me. I love selenite. It does help create a positive mindset by helping you access your intuition and enhance manifestation. Generally speaking, if you have selenite on you, you do not need to worry about any psychic attack due to the crystal's adequate psychic protection. You can have a selenite cleansing lamp in your room to cleanse it. You can also cleanse and recharge your other crystals with a selenite lamp or selenite bar. Excuse me. You can meditate with selenite in less than 15 minutes. You can even sit on your chair and put your bare feet on a selenite wand. I've used a selenite wand for energetic cleaning or cleansing for other people. Um, what else? Other than I just love selenite. I really do. Um, it is one of those stones that I think as a beginner, absolutely have it. It's a stone that I keep in like with my tarot cards or with my oracle cards. I also keep a piece in with my rune stones or my rune pieces, and also anything that I might be using to scry with, just because I want to keep them cleansed and not have any negative energy attached to them. Just one more layer of protection, if you will. Nothing wrong with a little bit another layer of protection. If you're looking for like night lights for your kiddos, a selenite lamp is actually pretty subtle. It's a soft white light. It's really, really pretty. Um, and it's something that I think would look great in most kids' rooms. So I would have a small cell lamp and a small selenite lamp in your kids' room because it is just a soft, subtle light. And if someone says, "Oh, why'd you get me that for a nightlight for the kiddos?" Like, because it's a soft light. That's all. And I thought it was cool looking. And it is white. I mean, you don't have to get very weird about it. Just say, "Hey, I thought it was cool." And it comes in different shapes often. Sometimes in a pillar, sometimes in a globe shape. I've seen them in heart shaped. Uh, so yeah, just one of those stones that I don't think you can get enough of. Um, every time I go to a rock shop, almost, I buy more selenite. Do I need more selenite at this point? Nope. Am I going to buy more the next time I go into a rock shop? Probably, just because I really truly don't think you can have enough at all. Hematite is another one that is a very protective stone. So hematite is kind of a darker black type of stone. If it's not polished, it is one that'll leave a mark on your hand or your clothing, so polished and sealed. It's one that's generally good at clearing electromagnetic pollution. You might see a hematite tile on the back of someone's phone or on their laptops or computers or TVs or what have you. So it's very, very popular for protection and grounding. It is an iron oxide crystal. Um, and it's generally a black to silver or gray. It does have some reddish brown varieties, but generally is more of a blackish gray. Used for EMF protection, work, home, in the car, any place with an electric field, because it does have that natural defense system against EMF energies. And not only does it help you with the EMF, it shields you from negative energy. It also has healing energy that helps ensure healthy circulation in the body and immune system, making it a good stone if you have like heavy periods, high blood pressure, or other health issues. Hematite can help detoxify the mind, body, and soul to help cleanse you physically and spiritually. It has emotional and mental healing properties that help provide you with the emotional energy to push through tough situations, which, we've got all of those happening, don't we? Um, the link for this particular article is in the show notes, so check it out because I'm not going to go through all of them. Just about to the next break, so I'll probably hit one more here, maybe two. We'll see. Time. No. Tiger's Eye is a strength and courage. Um, Tiger's Eye is one of those I love. Inner strength, inner courage, sense of determination and willpower decrease self-doubt, increase confidence, self-esteem, self-love. So really, really, really good. Anyways, off to our last break. When we come back, some simple spell work. So hope you have your tablets ready, your paperwork ready to make notes, and be right back. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and hey, we're off adventuring into the spaces between. Hope you guys are just having a fantabulous day that ends in Y. So, We've been talking about protection stuff. We talked about some stones. We talked about kind of a variety of things. Um, Let me just double check my list here. Looking, okay, closing that one. I like closing things out. It just feels good. So, simple spell work, right? Nothing too wild and crazy. Um, so, doorways and windows are portals, right? They're portals into and out of the home. Real basic. And most door frames have a little bitty lip or edge above them from the trim work around the door, right? And it's often kind of an easy spot to hide or stash a little bitty spell vial, spell jar, if you will, or even a stone um, that you can just, set your intention and stick on your door frame. And it gives that portal, if you will, an extra energy. And so these different spells can then enhance your room to maximum benefit every time you pass through them. And so door frames are considered liminal spaces. They're the space between one room and the next. And it's, you know, pretty straightforward, one would think, but at the same time, no. So, what do? Well, often front door, back door, you the main entryways to your house. Let's just start there of your home. Well, first off, you'll want to cleanse it. Since you're using the inside of the door frame, because if it's outside, that's where it's gonna, wind might knock it off. We don't want that. Um, you want to use the inside. So you want to clean it off with a wet cloth and then dry it off because, well, it's probably dusty up there anyways. You can cleanse it with incense, sure, by burning some sage around it. You can set your intention and breathe across it if you're moved by that. And sprinkle a little bit of salt, whatever it feels appropriate to you to cleanse the top of the door frame. The reason why is because we're trying to remove the energy of anyone else who has touched it or has had an energetic impact upon the top of the door. So think about it. Sweaty Billy Bob who installed the door, you know, who knows what he was thinking about when he installed the door? Do you really want that energy? No. Let's leave that in the past. We don't need that. We don't want that. We want to get rid of it. So we're going to cleanse it. We're going to clean it, and then we're going to cleanse it with just a little bit. Now, your correspondences, um, whether you use the ones that we talk about or something that are specific to what you're looking for, that's a variable. That's up to you. Write them down in your journal because we're journaling what we're doing first. And then if you decide you like it, it ends up in your book of shadows, right? What you did, what would you change, that kind of thing. Your your secret of success goes in your book of shadows. So you're going to gather your correspondences. Once you have your purpose, your crystals, your herbs, what is it you want to do for that particular doorway? Um, Anti-theft, that might be snowflake obsidian or cumin seeds, especially for door frames that go to the outside because we don't want someone to walk in and be stealing stuff. Nah, so anti-theft, totally get it. Protection, that would be your obsidian, your black tourmaline, smoky quartz, bay leaves, black pepper. Um, that could be something for any room that you want spiritual protection. Um, Now, spiritual protection is a big deal. Any room that you want spiritual protection on, this would be something to use. Windowsills included. Now, if you're looking for love and romance, like in the master bedroom, for instance, rose quartz, rose petals, hibiscus. That might be something for the doorway into the master bedroom. Communication, also one for the bedrooms, or maybe the kitchen, living room. Sodalite, peppermint, ginkgo is good for a home office though, or maybe a video studio, maybe your writing area. If you're an author, you write books, communication, maybe this would be good for your writing area. If you're looking for peace, so maybe you have some rowdy family get-togethers and you want peace instead, try clear quartz, lapis lazuli, ashwagandha, or holy basil. Grounded energy, that could be garnet, hematite, dandelion root, or any other grounding stone like tourmaline. Healing, so maybe you have a first aid room or someone who's sick. Healing could be amethyst, aquamarine, rhodochrosite, rosemary, or comfrey. Another one that's good for your room, flint, hops, because this is for sleep, valerian root, and chamomile. Higher spiritual energy, maybe this is for your meditation room. Selenite, amethyst, moldavite, mugwort, witch hazel, vervain, or any other elevating stone. Just be careful that moldavite, it's not for a beginner. So as you're getting ready to place them, you can either place them separately, like in a line, or you can put them in a jar to contain them, or in a little baggie or a pouch. Um, Whatever is going to work best for you, because I understand, some people feel organic and letting in the air free flow across all of that is best. Um, some prefer to have a little bit of a containment system, which I get. So a jar or a pouch. Do I have a jar or pouch handy? Normally I do. Yeah, that's a jar. Yeah, for YouTube, it's just a jar. It doesn't have to be a fancy jar, it's just a jar. Um, or a pouch. Honestly, a pouch doesn't have to be anything huge. It could just be a little bitty pouch. I have seen pouches just made out of fabric. It could be just a swatch of fabric or a patch of fabric that the different ingredients are placed in that maybe matches your home space or your decor, and it's hung next to your home, maybe with some witch bells for protection. My grandmother, who was very, very devout Lutheran, had had 3 strands of witch bells around the back door. Had no idea they were witch bells until after I fully embraced being a pagan and a witch. And there's like, that's what that was, Grandma. Interesting. And as far as witch jars go, if you don't want to go out and buy jars, I have a tendency to repurpose all sorts of things for witch jars. So if you go to the dollar store, the little glitter bottles, those make pretty good witch jars. Honestly, I've got a little thing of chapstick that's just about empty. This would fit very well on top of a door frame. And when it's gone, you put everything inside of there. I mean, you can get your stones almost any size. If you know someone with a stone saw or a masonry saw or rock tumbler kit, they can cut down some of those stones. Or if you're feeling really aggressive, take some of your frustration out. Pound it with a hammer. Do that too. Use your tools safely and wisely. But yeah, there are different ways you can put your spells up. So stand on a sturdy stool, of course. Place your herbs and crystals on the door frame. After you have set your intention, you want to put them towards the inside corners of the door, so closer towards the hinge side to avoid them from falling when the door opens. Um, and when you're done arranging them, say an intention or think about it as you're doing it. An example could be is I elevate these magical items far above my head. May they bless this door frame with the energy of protecting my home or whatever your intention is. And may they bless this room with peace or whatever the intention. And every time I pass beneath them, may they inspire me to increase this energy and recharge it, growing it ever more. Then envision the result and release it. Envision that your spell will be successful and hold that image in your head for a moment. What's it really going to look like? when everybody gets along, when everybody's communicating correctly. What's that look like? How does that feel? Feels pretty freaking awesome, right? Feel that energy in your body as if it's working. And when you feel comfortable with it, thank the correspondences and the door frame. Send them gratitude for helping you. And then, you know, go about your day. Now, when it comes to door frame magic or windowsill magic, any storm will, or any stone or herb will do, but the smaller the better so they don't fall off. Use dried herbs. Fresh might mold. Use a small chip or a string of chipped stones because, again, you don't want them to fall off. It's okay to use broken stones or crystals on your door frame. They might not be nice enough to display in other places, but they still have those same energies. And if you're worried that something might fall off, you can glue it or you can use that sticky tack stuff paste to, you know, stick it on the door frame. Now, if the door frame is shaky or if somebody slams the door a lot, I wouldn't necessarily put it on the door frame. Sometimes there's a crack between the door frame and the wall, you know, because you don't necessarily want to drop the item between the into the crack. You might never see it again. Um, I generally, again, I'd put it in a pouch or something that I could push pin to the area. That way I could renew it and refresh it and cleanse it rather than having to worry about something falling off. That's just all there is to it. Another thing you could use is an onion braid. Onion braids are actually protection charms. Maybe you didn't know that. So even though here in the Northern Hemisphere we're looking at spring rather than fall and storing onions, but if you do like onion or green onions, you go buy some green onions. Let's say onions wrapped around a braid. This charm for my home I have made. Keep negative energy away from me as I will it, so mote it be. Um, let's see, protection oil. You want a carrier oil or base oil of your choice, coconut oil, that kind of thing. Patchouli oil, you have 4 drops of patchouli oil, 3 drops of lavender, 1 drop of mugwort, 1 drop of hyssop. Um, Now, just remember, if someone's allergic, you're going to want to find some alternatives. But as you blend the oils, visualize your intent, take in the aroma, know the oil is sacred and magical, label it, date it, and store it in a cool, dark place. Store it in a dark bottle or dark jar. Um, Plant herbs with protective properties such as violets, thistles, or honeysuckle or fennel around your home. When they bloom, you can harvest them and hang them up to dry, and then the dried herbs can be in sachets or incense. Um, Iron horseshoes, the open end facing down to keep evil spirits out of your home. Um, you can also throw them at people. I'm kidding, don't throw them at people, that might hurt. Um, Now, not magic is one that you can have um, on your keychain that often doesn't look like it's really truly um, a magic thing, you know, because it's just like, oh, that looks cool. Remember the friendship bracelets that were so popular in the 80s and 90s? Same kind of thing. You know, as you're tying the knots, you it, tie the knots. And with each knot, do a word or a phrase. It doesn't have to be anything too fancy because you're just setting the words into the knot. Um, Now, with protection, what I would do, and because we're talking about this specifically with protection, um, the words that you're using, you can even have stones because you can get beads with the different stones, maybe smoky quartz or onyx or whatever stones that you would like to have, and put them on different strings, and you can tie them into a knot. And with each knot, you like, I'm tying this in protection, protect me from harm, protect me from verbal attack, protect me from physical attack, that kind of thing, spiritual attack, emotional attack. And when you're done, as I will at some mode at B, then have a bath of salt water or maybe diluted vinegar, and I guess you can do it before or after, depending on the stones. If you stones that might dissolve in water, you want to soak the cord before your knot spell, um, because then you're charging the string with the water, and with water safe stones or powders or oils maybe, um, and then you let it dry. Um, but you do, because if it's wet when you're tying the knots, those knots will shrink up and be super, super tight, and it'll be really hard to get them loose. Um, and that's so knot work is one of those things that, just like a friendship bracelet, it didn't look like it was magic, but it really was. Just like a lot of macrame, for instance, it doesn't look like magic, but it really is, or it could be. Um, so, I mean, just like a knot, a stone, take a drilled stone. I don't have one handy, do I? Not a big enough one to really make a difference. Um, Tie a knot, so signify it when you take the knot at the stone and you put the cord through it and you tie the knot on it securely. You're just clarifying your intent. So maybe it is uh, smoky quartz again. And you're tying the loop and the cord and around the stone. It's just clarifying that you want to be protected from the negative energy, and that's what you're going to wear. It looks nice. It's not just, protecting you from the negative energy, but it's a nice, pretty, wearable looking spell. Sometimes you can use it with wire. You can do the twist ties in the wire and make it look pretty, or you can use the cordage and use knots. Excuse me. Oh my, as I sneeze. Um, And a lot of times with the knot magic, for instance, especially if you're adding stones and such, um, for people who don't necessarily believe in magic or don't know that magic exists or haven't really acknowledged it yet, um, you know, knot magic is a really great way to have a protection spell or something out there, because people don't know that it's magic. It's and Knot magic is one of those things, really truly, that is really under the radar. So, say for instance, you really want to protect your home as much as possible. So, using Knot Magic, you create a hanging basket. You put a plant in there because, hey, you want clean air too. Um, and you put the tourmaline and the smoky quartz and the clear quartz in your plant to have that protective energy in the corner of your room. Also, you've got all of that in your space. So you've got the knot magic in there to help banish the negative energy, help the people who are intent on doing you harm to avoid your bedroom, if you will, and have open communication in your room. Yeah, absolutely. Have all of that and then have the protective stones in there as well. So, all of that stuff, you can set your intention before tying the knots. And and tying the knot isn't just for getting married, um, although you could. It's um, also for magic, honestly. And a really, it's a conventionally unconventional way to have the magic available. And it's surprising to me just how easy it is for something so profound and unusual and helpful to be so obvious to so many and out and available to everyone. Um, you can also, use smoke to purify or cleanse or finalize the knot. So sage or Palo Santo or whatever. So yeah, um, do the things you need to do to protect yourself. Don't just wing it and hope that it's going to be good enough. Don't just hope that the people around you will protect you. They should, especially if you're in a crowd. But when it comes to magic and being a witch, we also have to be proactive in taking care of ourselves and doing what is necessary to protect ourselves. It's not necessarily flying under the radar. Sometimes it's stepping up. Sometimes we need to step up and get on our own soapbox. So I'm going to keep doing my show. I want to keep having a safe place for people to come and talk and learn more about witchcraft and being a pagan and what that really means. Because it isn't flying on a broom and blood rituals and black magic and stuff like that. It isn't. Um, not not for me, anyways. Um, that's not who I am. And that's not what my path is. For me, being a pagan is being closer towards the earth and conserving the world around me and taking the best care of the earth and the world that I live upon. So in that way, yes, I am a conservative. Um, also kind of the live and let live world. Um, Politically, I am a little more conservative than I am liberal. Um, a lot more conservative than liberal. But I also don't feel the need to shove my politics down other people's throats. So maybe that's where I differ. I don't know. If you have questions or if you are concerned about your safety as a witch or a pagan where you're at, please don't hesitate to reach out to your local law enforcement. If you don't feel like your local law enforcement is going to help you out, um, geez, that makes it hard. Um, I don't know. I don't have a lot of resources myself. I do know people across the country here in the US. I might be able to help you find someone or put you in touch with someone. So you can always send me the email at wildepaisley@gmail.com. Um, First and foremost, before you do anything else, I want you guys to be safe. If it's not safe, if you're not in a safe place to come out of the broom closet or come out of the pagan pantry, or if it's just you're just not ready, then don't. There is no pressure whatsoever to put yourself out there. I would rather see you guys be safe and take care of yourselves than put yourself in harm's way. For those of us who are already out of the pagan pantry or the broom closet, maybe it's time that we stood up and told those out there that are trying to push us down that we're not going to take it. I'm not saying that we need to, get out our broomsticks and fight them off. I'm saying that, you know, just let them know that we're not going anywhere because we're not. We're part of this world too. We were here first, honestly, if you really want to get technical. Um, when it comes to protecting yourself, be aware of your surroundings and the people you're spending time with. If you're not comfortable with the things they're saying or the things they're doing when it comes to their political viewpoints or their religious viewpoints or how they're talking about the people around them, are they really the right people to spend time with? And the reason why is you are the sum of the 10 people that you spend the most time with, regardless of who they are. So if you don't like the 10 people that you spend the most time with. If you don't want to be those people, you need to stop and think about who you're spending time with. It's just that simple. Anyways, we're pretty much done for the night. Can you believe that? That was a fast 2 hours. I do apologize for the snafu on the technology because gotta love technology. Yep. And let's see what I can figure out there. Ah, yeah. Hmm. Updates, middle of the show. 2 thumbs way up. Anyways, so I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you tomorrow night. So this is Paisley Wild. Thanks for joining. This has been The Spaces Between. Have a great night, y'all. Bye.